Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing well today. And here it is, already December. I don't know how in the world it got to be December already. Seems like it's still springtime. Well, almost still springtime here in San Diego. It's been in the 60s and sunny and really pretty. But anyway, I know a lot of you are bundled up and getting chilly wherever you are. So let me go ahead. I'm going to be signing some books as we chat, and I've got my hot cocoa. So pull up a chair and join me. It's good to see you. Let's see who we've got here. Oh, good, good. Yes, I see you coming in. All right, that's great. So I've got a number of, first of all, it's Christmas here. As you can see from some of the decorations, I had all the family over for Thanksgiving and did my regular turkey and all the side fixings. And then as you can see, we started putting out some Christmas decorations. Let me see if I can just spin you around a little bit. There's my tree peeking out of the corner. My granddaughter, we really had a good time doing that. So I hope that you had a good Thanksgiving holiday and you're getting ready for the holidays ahead, whatever you celebrate. So it's the time to celebrate with the seasons. So first of all, we've been selling some books. Some I have already shipped out. Whoop, there goes the cocoa. And, a live event is nothing without a little catastrophe, right? Anyway, I'm signing Seabreeze In, the first in the series. This is a hardcover copy, and this one is for, let me see what I left, Juliet. So thank you, Juliet. I appreciate it. And every year, what I do is I take all of the books that I have on hand, and those may have been leftovers from special events that I did. They might be copies that a publisher sent to me, proof copies, things like that. So some that I get for publicity, for PR, maybe for influencers, or just as gifts to have on hand for people. So what I do every year is I take an inventory of what I have on hand, and then I open with that count, I say, okay, this is it. This is all I have right now, and come and get it. So I usually do a sale. Right now, we've got a 20% off on all of my books back here that I have on hand. So those will be signed copies. But I've also got a 20% off on my entire website. So many of those bundles are already reduced in price. They might be bundles of 1 to 4, 1 to 6 in a series. I've got some 10-book bundles too. I've got bundles starting with the Seabreeze series. This is one of them in the series, Seabreeze Christmas. And then I also have some for Beachview Lane. This is the Crown Island series. I've got some for my historical series. This one is an all-time favorite of book clubs, The Chocolatier. So The Chocolatier, The Winemakers. I have one called The Perfumer, Hepburn's Necklace, that also revolves around an understudy or an extra on the film Roman Holiday, which starred Audrey Hepburn. That one is set in Lake Como, Italy, and it's just one of my favorite books to write. But that's a question that I get a lot, and I think my favorite book to write is always the one that I've just written, because I'm so involved with the readers. Hello, I see some people coming in. Hi, Cindy. How are you? It's good to see you. Thank you. Well, I love you for reading my books, so it goes both ways. I'd be nothing without people reading, right? So this one I'm going to go ahead and sign in. Oh, we've got another Cindy. Hi, Cindy. Good to see you both. Irene, great to see you. Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Good to see you all coming in. Thanks. I've so many of my readers have been with me since I started writing, so it's like you're old friends, and I recognize your names when you come across when you're on the in my group, or when you leave a message on Facebook or another platform, or when an order comes through, I'll go, "Oh, I know her," and so I really do feel like I know you all. So thank you. And so this one, as I was just mentioning, I'm going to start signing. This one is for Juliet. So the first in the series. Oh, I have some news I want to share with you. Well, I can't quite share it yet, but it's good news. As some of you know, my Seabreeze series, the Summer Beach series, was optioned for television by Dynamic, and they're a wonderful company that has also produced shows like Harry Wild with Jane Seymour, Jenny in Georgia, which is a big, I believe it's on Netflix, or no, Apple. It's a big Apple hit, and just a slew of others. I mean, so many I can't even count, but they're one of the top producers, and she fell in love with the Seabreeze series. So as many of you have, and thank you so much for that. But they were all set. They had a great showrunner. They had a star. I don't know if I can say who it was, but it's certainly a household name. And at the last minute, the star had another situation come up. It's hard to schedule everyone. Honestly, I don't know how they do it, from getting all the people together, the cast and the crew and directors and all of that, and then to find the money to do it. Honestly, I don't know how they do it, but they do thankfully pull it off. And it looks like they're really working to try to get something in place, at least some news maybe I can share by the end of the year. So it's still going, still going. Everyone cross their fingers and send up all the good wishes for this. Thank you, Cindy. So I'm going to go ahead and sign this one, and someday I hope to see this on screen. Would that be fun? Who, if I mean, you've read it, so who would you see in the cast? Who would you see as Ivy Bay, for example, or her love interest Bennett? Who would you see? I'm just curious. People ask me, and you know, I don't know. I don't know. I have ideas, but I don't see anyone in particular. So I'd love some feedback from that. Yeah. Hi, Kathy. Hi, Lisa. How are you doing? Connie, I'm so glad you made it, Connie. Oh, I love to see everyone. Thank you so much. Hi, Irene. Yeah, it is exciting. I hope it comes to pass. But it's looking really good. It takes so long for these to get into production. And in fact, one of my agents, she said to me, my Hollywood agent, she said, there's a reason why everyone you see on the award shows, when they give the award for the best producer, and the whole team gets up there on the stage, and she said, have you ever noticed how many of them have gray hair? I went, no, why is that? She said, because it takes so long to get anything made. So I'm going to have gray hair by the time it's done. Actually, truth be known, I actually have gray hair. We're just not. It's just our secret, right? It's just our secret. Okay, who do we have? Connie says Jennifer Aniston, ooh, or Julia Roberts. I tell you, those are two of my favorites, two of my all-time favorites. I could see them. Yes, yes. That's a good call, Connie. We'll see what we can do. They'd be great. So this one is going to be to Juliet. And if anyone has any that they'd like signed for me, it's not too late. You can just jump in there. I'll be happy to. So let's see. Here we go. So I'd love to hear, what is everyone doing for Christmas, for holidays? Goodness, so much going on. There's parties, there's family coming, or maybe you're taking some vacations. Um, Love to see. Love to hear what you're all doing. To Juliet, welcome. Do we have Juliet with us? Let's see. I don't think I see Juliet, but anyway, here's her book. You can all tell her if you see her in the group. Welcome to the Sea Breeze. Welcome to Sea Breeze Inn. You can tell her that you saw her books being signed. So here you are. Oops, let me see if I can get that on camera. There we are, Sea Breeze Inn. So that's the first one to Juliet. She actually got quite a few. So let me take a little. Does anyone else have a cup of cocoa or a glass of wine or a cup of tea? Oh, Krista just said Sandra Bullock. Oh, another good one. Okay, I'm going to have to make notes of this. Oh, Lisa says, parties and enjoying Andrea Bocelli in New York the week before Christmas with my sister. Oh my goodness. Not my sister, her sister. Oh, that sounds like so much fun. That's someone I have always wanted to see. And he came to San Diego not too long ago, and oh, I wanted to go so bad. I missed the show. I was unable to make it, but just love his music. You know, a lot of times when I'm writing, I don't know if you know this, but many writers have their own soundtrack when they write, music that just gets them in the mood to write. And Andrea Bocelli is one of those. I listen to his music. I turn on, one of the stations that plays music like his too, and I just love that. There's something about it. It just opens up that imagination, and I just love that. Another thing I listen to are movie soundtracks. So there's one from Out of Africa that I have been listening to, I think since the movie came out, and that's been a long time. And there's something about it when I put that on, I believe it's John Williams, when I put that on, it's just this soaring music that just gets me into a different world so that I can write. And once I start writing, I just go straight through the story from start to finish. And then I'll go back and I'll edit, I'll maybe move some chapters around. Maybe I have a subplot that I've thought of by the end. But as we write, we're always thinking about what can I put in that would be unusual. Ooh, here's another one. Oh, Licia, Lisa, am I saying that, pronouncing it properly? I hope so. Forgive me if I'm not. Beautiful spelling though, Leissa, beautiful. And she is going to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Oh, that's another one. That's another one that I love to write to as well. And yeah, oh, that's a good one. And Connie, what are you doing? Spending the day with my son. Okay, not cooking this year, so I guess we'll order Chinese. That works for me. I am all for making it easy. And, let the young people have their turn, right? Let them do all the cooking. Let them wait on us. Let us be the princesses, the queens that we are, right? Let's see. Oh, you guys, you've really got some good plans. Oh, that's great. That's great. Hi, Kathy. Oh, the pages come alive. I'm so glad you think so. I really pour my heart into everyone. And as I'm writing, I'm always thinking, now, what would they like to see next? And what would be a surprise? What would be a total surprise to them? So I'm always thinking about you all when I write. And we've got one couple out of Florida. Maybe I'll post their latest one. They are thespians. So a big shout out to them. I'll let you in on it. I'll ask first if I can post those before I do. But they always perform the part of Pixie, the Chihuahua, in the Summer Beach series. And Pixie was one of those characters that was just sort of, and I do think of the pets as characters too. I love to put dogs in my books. I'll probably have a cat. I think I should have a cat and another one. Maybe what other pets should I put in there? What other pets? But you readers have all named the pets in the books, and it started in the winemakers. And I had a dog in that one. It was an Australian Shepherd, I believe, or was that Coral Cottage? Hmm. I'm not sure. No, 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 no. It was an Italian. I believe it's called a Maremma, Marmema. I don't know. If you know, put it in the comments. I can see it. Readers, we never know how to pronounce anything, right? We see it and we know the word, and then we go, okay, that's the word, but we don't hear it. So we pronounce it however we are going to pronounce it, right? And so an Italian Marmema. I'm not sure. Someone look that up. But that one we named Vino. That was the winning entry, was Vino. And in Summer Beach, it's Pixie. She's a Chihuahua, and she is a princess for sure. And she has a problem, and she's in therapy for it. She's in dog therapy for it, and she's a kleptomaniac, and she tends to steal things when people aren't looking. So I had so much fun with her. My daughter-in-law has a Chihuahua, and there was another one before that this character was based on. So Taco the Chihuahua. Hi, Jenna, if you're there. And so it's been just a fun to write her into every one. She was only going to be in one or two books, and as you know, this series was only going to be the first three books. It was Seabreeze Inn, it was Seabreeze Summer, and then Seabreeze Sunset right here. I have stacks of books around me. Seabreeze Sunset right here. And we were just going into the pandemic. I had written the first one in 2019, and then we went into the pandemic in 2020. And, I have to keep writing for people. So the next one that came out was Seabreeze Christmas, still remains a bestseller. And then we just kept on going from there because you all you embraced it, and the pre-orders kept growing. And so I said, well, I'm going to keep writing because we didn't have a lot else to do during the pandemic, many of us. And so I just kept writing for everyone. And that's how we're up to book number 13 I'm working on right now, which is also why this was so attractive to the producer, because they had a lot of stories, a lot of different characters they could bring in. And when I wrote this book, there was something in it that, I just always thought from the beginning that it had a chance to be a television series. Kathy says Pixie's mama is as much fun as she is. I don't know if you mean me or Gilda. Gilda's Pixie's real mama in the books. But anyway, I know I love Pixie. She's just always getting into trouble. And if you've read Seabreeze Harvest, she has a very important scene in Seabreeze Harvest as well. And I must say, Pixie, poor Pixie, she takes one for the team. She does. She's, well, I won't give it away, but yes, Pixie, my heart goes out to poor Pixie in this one, but she's okay. She's okay in the end. So don't worry. We do not kill any dogs or animals or anything like that here. We do not do that. Not allowed, not allowed, not allowed. Always happy endings for the pets in my books. Yes, indeed. And for most of the people too, unless they're the bad guy. But even the bad guys, if you notice that I get to thinking about them and I think, why are they bad? Why are they evil? It's sort of like, has anyone seen Wicked? I went with my granddaughter, took her this holiday season, and I thought, why, we're talking about good and wicked and all that. And, then it turned out that the wicked one was really a good one. And so I feel like that, most people aren't all bad nor all good. So I look at my antagonist. I look at my bad guys in these books, and I think, can we salvage them? Can we like see why they did this? Can we turn someone around? So if you've ever read the Seabreeze series, you might remember the mistress. Remember her? Remember her? She was the one that Ivy discovered her husband was having an affair with after he passed away. Not that he was having an affair after he passed away. That would be hard, right? Before, but she didn't know anything about it. So anyway, that's just one that I brought over to the good side, and had Ivy, discover why she was the way she was. And, she was damaged. And I like for people, even if they've been down or they've been damaged, that there's a comeback for them. And hi, Cindy. Oh, thank you, thank you. And then sometimes, well, they just can't be salvaged. So you'll see that in my first book, The Perfumer. Okay, we've got another one for Juliet. Hi, Melinda. How are you? Good to see you. I'm glad you joined us. Yeah, and Krista. Hi, Krista. You can't imagine no, I will keep writing Seabreeze books for as long as people still want to read them. I will continue writing them. So certainly through 2026. And Lisa, I just saw yours. How about try and parrot who says improper things in a new book? Huh. Okay. I am not sure exactly what you mean. Do we need a parrot in the books, or are we going to am I going to parrot that? I don't know. I think I need a little more information, Lisa. But I could see a parrot. I could see a parrot in a book. What do you think? Yeah, especially on the beach, parrots and beaches, those, and pirates. Ooh, ooh. Huh. Who'd like to see a pirate in a book? Okay, back to work, right? Back to work. Okay, Juliet's got another one. This one is Beachview Lane. This one is the first one in the Crown Island series. And if you know the Crown Island series, that one is actually inspired by a place close to home. I live in San Diego, North County, San Diego, and I'm just a few minutes from the beach, maybe a 5-10 minute drive to the beach, pretty close. And of course, that's a lot of my inspiration. Summer Beach is a fictional town, but I know many of you have been trying to figure out where is it and what's it really, what's it named after? And I have to say it's a mashup, because I've lived in California for a long time and I've always lived near the beaches. I love water. I love being on the water. And when I was in school, I took a semester on a program called Semester at Sea, and it circumnavigated the globe. So I love to write about ships. I love to write about being on the water or at the beach. I have spent time everywhere from, I didn't live there, but I lived in LA. So I visited, everything from Malibu to Santa Monica, Venice, Manhattan Beach, Seal Beach, then on down to Newport Beach. There's so many beaches. Laguna Beach, of course. That one is also a great inspiration because it's a very artistic community. And they have something called the Pageant of the Masters. And if you've never heard of that, be sure and look that up, The Pageant of the Masters in Laguna Beach. And I've gone to that, and it's spectacular. They bring artwork alive on a stage, and to music, and it's absolutely stunning. And what they recreate through lighting and makeup and costume, and these are all volunteers, what they recreate looks like the painting. It is just, I mean, it's unbelievable. They've also done sculpture. It's remarkable, and there's a whole evening of this. It's just spectacular. Gives me the chills. I've got to go again, but they sell out quickly. So if you're nearby, or if you want to make a trip, you do need to get that. But anyway, walking on down the beach, there's Dana Point. There's of course, Encinitas, Carlsbad. Now I'm getting more into my neck of the woods, as my grandmother used to say in Texas. And that would be on down to Del Mar and La Jolla, and all of the beaches in San Diego. So it's a mashup between all of them. And Kathy says, we lived on Martha's Vineyard for 20 years. Oh, those must have been magical years. I love being on an island. Oh, yes, it's just beautiful. Anyway, this was Coronado Island. So Coronado means crown in Spanish, and as most of you know, California belonged to Spain for many years, and then Mexico, and then it came into the U.S. as a state. And so much of our influence is from Spain, and I go to Spain quite a bit. I just love it. I was there in October. For a good part of it. I flew into Barcelona and then stayed with another author friend who writes as Alexandra Varian. Check out her book. I had it in my newsletter a few weeks ago. And she's just delightful. And then from there, we traveled down to Marbella. From there, all along the coast, just magical. And then from there, we went to Gibraltar, then Tangier in Morocco, and then across to the Algarve, and stayed in Portugal for a little bit, and then eventually drove up and flew out of Lisbon. But it was just a magical trip, and traveling always inspires me. So that's my reset. I'm looking at some comments now. Hello, Lisa. Okay. Merry Christmas to you too. I'm glad you could make it. And I'm seeing everyone. Hello, Lori. Nice to see you. Oh, great. So you're still working your way through the Summer Beach series. A lot of fun ahead for you. A lot. Okay. Good to see you, Connie. Good to see you. And Susan, hi. Why does it take so long to get audiobooks out? Yes, that's a really good question. And thank you so much. You listen to them at night before you fall asleep. Thank you for that. The reason is that we're all humans over here. And so I'm writing my narrator, Erin Bennett, and she has narrated every one of my books. So she's been with me from the beginning, and she is the voice of the Seabreeze series and the Coral Cottage series and the Crown Island series and even the Sunshine and Second Chances series. Let me see if I can pull one of those books for you. This was my very first series. And this one also ties in to the Summer Beach series. Some of the characters tie in. You meet Honey, who is Ivy's oldest sister, and her daughter, Elena, who also pops up in the Summer Beach series. But why do they take so long? Well, first of all, Erin is a fabulous narrator. She is very much in demand. She's one of the top narrators for women's fiction. And she has narrated Ellen Hildebrand's books, some of Mary Kay Andrews, just so many. If you go online and look up Erin Bennett, and isn't it funny? Her name Bennett is the same as my character name Bennett. It was funny how that worked out. But she has her star has really risen in popularity. So she's very popular, which means that it takes a little longer to for my books to bubble up on her schedule. She just has more. Business is good for Erin right now, which is great. She's won quite a few awards for her work. She was one of the hosts on the Audio Awards, which is the audiobook community's equivalent to the Oscars. So she was one of the hosts on that, and I mean, she's just fabulous. I can't really change in midstream. What I can do is to write ahead farther. But of course, my schedule, I'm usually writing about 4 books a year. And so that's 1 a quarter. It's hard for me to get ahead. But in this last year, we were impacted because she moved, and you know how disruptive a move is. So that put her a little behind on having to pack, unpack, get a she was building a new studio in her new home. So that's the real answer. And she's she's an accomplished professional, and we just have to wait a little bit. So on my side, I'm going to try to write ahead more, farther ahead than I do, so that I'm able to be on her schedule. So we're working on it. But thank you for understanding, especially in this age of AI, where more books and more audio are being done by artificial intelligence. And I mean, it can be done, but I think it lacks a lot of the heart, a lot of the emotion, just the soul that we put into our work. And I really appreciate you all continuing to support your fellow human beings. That means a lot to me. It really does. It's a little scary for us, I'll be honest. There's a top country song that was just found out to be written by AI, performed by AI. The person you see on the screen isn't real. And I don't know. I just think about the person who was number 2 and how they must have been really disappointed that their song didn't make it to number 1, or the person who was a brand new artist, maybe, who was the top 100 is a big deal for a new artist, just like getting on a chart is important for an author's career, same for a songwriter or performer's career. And gosh, if they were number 101 and didn't make it onto that top 100, I can imagine how they'd feel. Anyway, let's move on. But the audiobooks, she's back on schedule, and we're expecting Seabreeze Harvest probably in January. Again, don't hold me to it because things happen. I can't really project dates. People get sick. I remember there was one time a few years ago that she was sick, and she had a lung, she had a bad cough, and I think she lost her voice there for a while. And so she couldn't record. So, and then she called me one day. She said, I'm a little hoarse. I don't know. Do you want me to see if we can get this out? And I said, well, I'd really, I think we can wait a little bit longer, because I like for it to be the best quality for all of you. So we waited a little bit longer. So, human beings, things happen, and I appreciate your patience. I really do. And I'm happy to recommend, some of my good friends who are authors, some of their books that you could listen to in the meantime. So happy to do that. Hi, Annie. You're putting up Christmas lights. Wonderful, wonderful. Kathy, you finished the series. Great, great. And Susan, you've read them all too. Oh, yes, Hepburn's Necklace. Yes. Yes, what I love about Erin is that she does accents so well, but she does them in a, in a way that if you're a native English speaker, you can understand. So there's soft accents. So she's such a pro. Oh my goodness, she is such a pro. Um, yeah, thank you all. Thank you all. I appreciate your support so much. Really, it means so much to me, to my author friends, that you're all, supporting, continuing to support live authors as so many things get replaced by AI. But, and I'm looking for my pen. Is it in my hair? I often stick it in my hair. Does anyone else do that? I'll walk around the house with, like my hair wrapped up with a pencil stuck through it and a pen through this ear. And, it's really funny. So, okay. Well, here it is. Here it is. I think, no, it's not in there. All right. Well, see, this is what happens live. Oh, I think I see it. Got it. Ta-da! Okay. But yes. So thank you all so much for continuing to support live creators, and we'll continue to dream up fascinating stories for you all. I love to throw in things that that no one else would really think about or know about, and a lot of that is inspired by my own life, and I think you can all see that. I remember I was on it was in Seabreeze honeymoon, and so I had Ivy and Bennett, and they were married, and I needed to send them on a honeymoon. I thought, I'd really be cheating you all if I didn't send them on a honeymoon and really make it a good one, and somehow tie it in to Amelia Erickson's story. She's always that character who isn't really a character, but she is, and her story fascinates me too. And so I'm always trying to figure out ways I can work that in. So in Seabreeze honeymoon, there I am on the island of Mallorca in Spain, in the Mediterranean, trying to figure out where I'm going to send them on a honeymoon. And I wasn't there on vacation. Well, maybe a little bit, but no, I was actually there attending a writers' conference, and this particular group of authors love to go to places where they can gain inspiration, and it's a beautiful place, and we can all, just chill in the moment and walk on the beach and dream up stories and work out plots and things like that. And so that's what we do. And many of them are living outside of the U.S. Some are U.S. Citizens living outside of the country. Others are, perhaps from Spain or Germany or New Zealand. Just a number of different places, the UK. So we all vote on where we're going to meet the next year. And this year it was Mallorca. So there I was wondering, where am I going to send them? And then I went, well, duh, this is obvious. So you in Seabreeze honeymoon, you all got to experience my trip essentially through their honeymoon. So the caves that they went to see in the boat, there's an old train, a vintage train that you take through the mountains, and you can see these olive trees that are terraced on the mountains, and some of them are, this area has been producing olive oil for hundreds of years, maybe more. The Romans introduced that to so many places. And I saw that again in Spain. I saw on my last trip, which was just last month, I went to Ronda, and I just saw some beautiful places, and a lot of it were ruins, or not ruins. Many of them were still functioning, and from the era of the Romans. And so it was just, I love history. I'm fascinated with it. I do have to go review it because I don't want to get the details wrong, thank you, Lori. Yes, that was a great one. So in Seabreeze Harvest, as I was going back through the edits, I wrote in some things about Spain as well. Ivy is an artist, so we're looking through her eyes all the time of what she sees as an artist. And I think that's one of the tricks too, is when you're writing about different characters, you want to write about how they see the world through their eyes. So Ivy sees it through her artist eyes. She notices things that maybe other people would miss. In Seabreeze Harvest, she's looking at the plans for the library and the art museum that is going to be underway. And she feels like something is missing. In the very beginning of the book, she feels like something is missing. And in her eyes, it is. So then by the end of the book, and especially in the bonus chapter, you'll find more. So be sure and get that bonus chapter. Why do I do bonus chapters? Well, the truth be known, after I finish a book and turn it in, I don't want to let go of those characters. I'm not ready to let go of the story just yet. So the book has already gone to print, and I'm back there still typing and still writing and still adding to it. So I love to share that with you all. I think it's kind of fun, and you get to see just a little bit more of the story. So you can have it. Usually we distribute it through BookFunnel, which you can put onto your Kindle, your Nook, or other reading device. We also put it online. Usually we have a link somewhere on the website, the janmoran.com site, and then you can find it there as well. So I love to do that. You like them too, Annie. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yes, there she has it. Yeah. G is putting up some things for me under my name. Hello, shout out to my assistant, G. Thank you so much, G. We could not do this without you. And also, I have to say even more of a shout out to G, because as many of you know, she lives in the Philippines, and they have been hit so hard with monsoons and earthquakes. The month of October was off the chart. So let's all send our love to G and for her family and for their continued safety. And it's Mother Nature is nothing to mess around with. So, that's why I said we're all human here, and sometimes things happen. So G is in charge of the production and also a lot of my marketing. So she's a really important part of what we do here. Cover designers also, I remember there was one year my cover designer had an emergency surgery, and then another one. And so the book was delayed because of because we needed the binding width adjusted on the final copies. So there's always a little something, and we're sort of a microcosm of a production studio. I was talking about earlier how I don't know how they coordinate all the people, because just on what we do, coordinating it is a big job. So always my team, thank you to everyone. Thank you. I see she's posting more. Yeah, yeah. So to Juliet, I'm still on Juliet. I've got a stack here, but we'll continue on. Is Angel here by any chance? I've also got Angels. Angels has Coral Holiday, Seabreeze Honeymoon, one we just talked about, and Seabreeze Gala. So she's got 3 of them that I'm going to be signing as well. And I've signed some others that have already were a little more time sensitive, and we needed to get them out in the mail. So we're having some fun over here with those. But yeah. So what I'm curious, what would you like to see in the Seabreeze series? The Coral Cottage series we've wrapped, but it doesn't mean that I've been playing around with an idea, maybe a little extra on the Coral Cottage. And then, of course, I have another one coming. Hibiscus Heights just came out this summer, and the audiobook just came out. So that one, the next one is going to be a spring book, and that is Summer Street. Is that right? Yes, Summer Street. That's right. Of course, I know the name of the book I'm writing. Yes, of course I do. Okay. Yes, Summer Street is the next one in the Crown Island series, inspired by Coronado Island. And then Summer Street. Yeah, that's Summer Street. Seabreeze Garden is the next one in the Seabreeze series. So, in fact, that'll be the next book that you see. So that one's sometimes I have them in a little bit different order. It depends on Seabreeze Garden seemed more spring-like, and of course, Summer Street is summer. So I wanted to make sure I got them in the right seasons. So thank you, Annie. Thank you. Yeah. Another one that I reformed was Mitch. Of course, Mitch was pretty well reformed when, he's the one in the Summer Beach series where he owns Java Beach, which is the hotbed of gossip in Summer Beach. And if you live in a small town, there's some place like that in your town. And even in big towns, I used to live in Los Angeles, and I would go over to the farmers market in the mornings for coffee or to meet friends. Or at that time, I was going pretty regularly because I was meeting another writer and we were talking. And in this particular area, there are tables set up in the farmers market, and you can have coffee and you can sit down and have something to eat. And I noticed that there was this group in back of us who was always there, and it was a bunch of men, and some of them were older, some of them were younger. They were always very animated, and I thought, who are these people? Well, come to find out, it was a group of screenwriters, and they have been meeting there for decades. So again, the older ones, the younger ones, there's this constant flux of people, and I swear, I think most of the time, their time was spent gossiping rather than really talking about projects. But they did, and yeah, there's a lot of gossip going on. So that may have influenced Java Beach just a little bit. But I pick up things everywhere. I'm always inspired by different things, and I just love to weave that in because as I'm traveling, as I'm out and about, I see things that I'm fascinated with. And I think, I bet they'd like to know something about that. As a reader, when I read, I like to learn a little something as well. I like to come away with a little bit of knowledge, maybe. Actually, that's how I became interested originally in wine. Was I began to read about it. I read some book, maybe it was The Vineyard or one of those a long time ago, and I thought, "Oh, that sounds so fascinating," and so I wanted to learn more about it. Other things like that too. Art, of course, I love, and you see a lot of that threaded throughout my books too. So. Anyway, I'm going to sign this one for Juliet before I forget, right? Okay. Yeah. So how long? Oh, we've been talking for nearly an hour. So I really appreciate your joining me. This has been so much fun. I love to chat with people. I'd love to see, would anyone like to get on a Zoom call? Maybe as we get a little bit closer to Christmas and just get some people from the group. If you don't know, I have a private Facebook group. Many of you are in it, but I think maybe I see a couple of people who maybe aren't. But we can put that through the group if you'd like, or we can, yeah, okay. Oh, Susan, that's what husband farmers do. They meet for coffee in the morning and gossip. Yeah, I know. Truth be told, I think they gossip as much or more than we do, right? I think so. That's what I think. My husband he always knew what was happening before I did. always. He was so plugged in. I was busy. I was writing. I was doing other things. Yeah, he was a gossiper. So, uh, welcome to Coronado. Nope, not Coronado, Crown Island. I almost slipped there. Welcome to Crown Island. And when I send out these signed books, I signed some. Here we go. Here's Juliet's again. There we go. So when I sign these books, when I send them out, I also put some signed bookmarks in there as well and wrap them up really pretty. So yeah. And then this one is to, yes, G, my assistant just posted a link for the Facebook VIP group. Yeah. And so our sale is running. I think we're running it through Cyber Monday, which is today. Oh, if you're an ebook reader and you haven't yet started the Crown Islands series, right now Amazon has Beachview Lane on sale for 99 cents. So it's one day only, Cyber Monday. You still got a little time left if you want to jump over there and grab it after we get off. My other series starters on my site and Amazon, Kobo, Apple, Barnes & Noble are at $2.99. And I'm not sure how long we're running this sale for. I think through tomorrow. So typically that's what I do. I like to leave enough time that I can send out the signed copies. And we send them out by priority mail, or not priority, by book mail, called medium mail, so that it keeps the shipping costs down for you. But it takes a little longer. It takes maybe a week or 10 days to get to you. Could be faster depending on where you are in the country. But I like to leave ample time because, you want these as soon as you can get them, right? I know I do. So this one is to, I think I've got one of, yeah, to Angel. Let's get hers over here. And she's got a few. So there we go. And this one is the Coral Cottage series. And that one, I really enjoyed writing that. I wrapped it up last year simply because I felt like I had told everyone's story. And it was time to close it and then to move on to something else. I have another book that I'm writing this year, and it's sort of in stealth mode right now. But that one I needed a little bit of extra time for. So that'll be a surprise. And there is Angels to Coral Holiday. So I'll tuck some signed bookmarks in that. And I think that's anyone. Oh, the link to the other Facebook group. Okay, we just put it in there. Lori, I see your question. You're asking, where's the link to the other Facebook group? And it is there. I just have one. And it is somewhere up there. We'll make sure that we answer you and put a direct link in there for you. We'd love to have you. I think we've got about 3,000 readers in there, and we'd love to have you. So come join us. We do some fun things, and sometimes I have some special giveaways that are only open to those on my mailing list or in my VIP group. And I love to pamper you all. And I'll let you know when there are sales. They don't always tell us, but many times they do. And so if I see something on Kobo or Apple or Amazon, I usually will let you know. And then also we've got the bundles on my store, which is shopjanmoran.com. And those are all 20% off, I think, through tomorrow. but that one is, those are bundles. Those include everything. They include the signed books, the ebooks, which you can put on any of your devices. We send them through BookFunnel, and BookFunnel will help you put them on any device you have, Kindle, Nook, Kobo, any of them. And then we also have audiobooks, and I love the audiobooks through BookFunnel because it's so easy. And you have them forever. Same with all of them. You know, some places, some retailers, if you leave, you might lose your books. You know, there have been different stories, horror stories of people having lost their libraries, and not so with mine. If you paid for it once, you've got it forever. Audiobooks, you usually get them a little bit earlier on my site than you do on the retailers, and that's just because we get them first, so we put them up, and then they go out to the retailers, and it depends on when they want to add it to their catalog and when they plan the launch date at their shop. So that may vary. Audible usually takes longer than anyone else, but that's out of my hands. I don't run their business; they do. So, but they do, eventually get it up, and then yes. So the question was bundles. Yes. So that 20% discount also applies to all of my bundles that we've put together at a special price. So that's a great deal. And I think that's about it. Any other questions? Lori, we'll get that link for you for the group. And yep, there's the code. The code for my website or for my shop is Black Friday 2025. And there's also a banner at the top. So be sure you use it on checkout. Be sure you put that code in the checkout. It'll ask for a promo code if you have one. And be sure that you put it there. You'll see it on the last checkout page when you get your total. So just put it in there, and then it'll take another 20% off, which I love sales. I love to save money, right? Don't we all? Oh, well, I just want to say thank you. I know that everyone has probably got dinner plans that they're dashing off to or having to make dinner. I hope someone's making dinner for you. That'd be nice. But thank you. So I just want to say thank you all again. I appreciate your taking the time. I love to take time to talk with you and answer any questions that you have. So keep them coming, and maybe we'll do something else, have our own private little Zoom session, and we can all dress up in our holiday finery. That'd be fun. So we'll talk about that in the group. And if people want to do that again, let's do it. So I hope you all have wonderful holidays, and whatever you're celebrating, celebrate well, celebrate with the ones you love, and let's all welcome a Happy New Year, and let's all look ahead with hope in our hearts and love for each other. So happy holidays, everyone. Bye-bye. Merry Christmas.